Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a good start already to this weekend. Love Saturday mornings, start of the weekend, the break. Was going to do some talking this morning about spiritual bypassing, what it is and why we do it. So spiritual bypassing, you don't have to be actively spiritual to spiritually bypass. I'm a strong believer we're all spiritual on some level, whether we realise it or not. It's really the morals that you're living by in your life, your spiritual compass, the way you make decisions. And spiritual bypassing is something we've all done. I've done it lots. It's another name for avoidance. Is where we can understand something theoretically. We can understand something from the mind, and we can understand a principle about something, but we don't put it into practice, or we don't act on it accordingly in our life when maybe it's actually causing us problems. So spiritual bypassing can be many things. It might be that we've got substance abuse and we know it and we admit it, we take ownership of it, but we don't do anything about it. And it can be such like our values. We can really believe that something would be good for us and make a big change in our life, and maybe our life isn't going so well. So if we made these particular changes that we are actually actively conscious of, that's the thing with spiritual bypassing, but then we choose not to take action because we can't be bothered, or we haven't got the time when we could find time. We're not valuing ourselves enough, but we think everybody else should be valuing themselves enough. It's when we're not quite putting into practice what we already understand. And the thing is, I always say, once we see something, we can't unsee it. Once we know something, we can't unknow it. The problem is with conscious awareness, where we bring what's deep-seated to the surface so we actually start to notice it. It becomes a bit of a moral problem on ourselves, on our own journey, that we're aware that we're maybe not helping ourselves, or that a different way of life might be better for us and those around us, and we find reasons not to take action, and the reasons may not necessarily be good enough, dare I say it. So it can be self-sabotage, it can be avoidance, because actually to put those things into practice might be quite painful, might mean a bit of sacrifice, might mean a bit of hard work, might mean facing some fears, might mean taking accountability, might mean owning up to something, might mean a significant change in a way of life that we've held on to for a long time, and it might feel scary to do that. So when I say they're not good enough reasons, that's not with judgment. It's more, what is a good enough reason? What is a good enough reason not to take action when we could? We can procrastinate and we can avoid because it might feel easier, but long term it's not. Spiritual bypassing can also be where we acknowledge certain things in other people, that they need to change this, or they need to work better on that, or this is what they're doing wrong, but we refuse to really integrate that into ourselves, where we may be making the same mistakes, but they should make change, but we're not going to. Or we're going to look at what they're doing wrong, but we're not going to look at what we're doing wrong. And we're all doing stuff wrong. Doesn't mean we're bad people. We're all living in ways, in the way the society is set up, it's actually quite hard to get it right. It's kind of working against us and keeping us quite closed and confined, and doesn't give us the freedom to discover who we are or have our own expression. Even our freedom of speech is ridiculously limited, ridiculously suppressed. We're not allowed to have our opinions anymore because we might offend, or we might upset, or it's gone too far. So spiritual bypassing is recognizing something and maybe struggling to say out loud what I just did. So have a great Saturday, everybody. Take care.